Howdy folks, Brian Cusco here at Triple B, and today we've got somebody that I absolutely adore in this hobby is Meg Hellhound Theys. And she's been doing double M reptiles. We had her on the vlog a while back, but if you guys are in ball pythons or you guys follow stuff with ball python snakes in the groups, I think you may have known Meg. If you haven't, you're going to be glad you did. So let's get into it. You're watching Triple B TV. Here.
I don't know what you're doing.
Well, look at you. Oh, sweet. We got snakes running all over the place. It's going to be fantastic.
I know.
Dude, Meg Hellhound Theys. Did I say
Theys, yes.
I
you
said it right?
I'm so... Everybody always says it wrong. So
really? What do people say?
They always say ties or thighs. I get Theys sometimes, too. I'm like, it's German, yo. Theys. Come on. Get with it.
I can't believe I got it. I think I've run through all of those in my head.
I know. Most people know me because I have my middle name as Hellhound, so.
Yeah, it's kind of stands out.
Yeah, a little bit.
Where did that come from?
I actually, so I read, because I'm a nerd, I read the Harry Dresden books. And he has a dog that's a hellhound. So
okay.
I just kind of thought it was different. I used to not have my last name on Facebook, and then Facebook changed all the rules that you have to have
I was
your
always
actual
just Brian Cusco.
your actual name on there. So that ended the party. But I kept it as my middle name.
Yeah, that's cool. It definitely is not, I would say, an accurate representation of the feeling that when you read it versus when you meet you in person.
I get that a lot too. They're like, man, we expected you to kind of be standoffish, and I'm like, no, I'm like one of the nicest persons. Yeah, I'm like, no, I'm the nicest person in the world.
How long have you been doing this?
So I've had reptiles for a while. I moved out of my mom's, and I wanted a pet, and couldn't have a dog and cat because I was renting. So I wanted something that I could have, and I wasn't really fond of hamsters and gerbils. I had a very traumatic experience as a child and got bit by a guinea pig, so I was like...
Hurts. Painful.
Got my very first stitches, so it was
dangerous.
Fun. Yeah. So
damaging.
I was
Not like a snake.
Yeah, so I started to look and, started to read up about ball pythons, and they were my first snake that I kept, and I had two that I cohabbed because I didn't know any better. And then... eventually, my ex took them, and
this was circa, what year was the first snake keeping?
Yeah, ball pythons.
No, what year?
What year? Oh, my goodness. This was probably in, 2005, 6.
Okay.
So then, when I got, later on down the life, this was after my daughter was born, I really wanted a snake again, and I went to our local Pittsburgh show and bought a het pied male off of Rick Carmine and brought him home. I had no idea what het pied meant. Looked it up. I saw what pieds are, and I was like, I have to have that. I have to have that. And I bought my very first pied, put a payment on a pied from Dave Green Reptiles, and took off from there and wanted to make my own, and I've made pieds ever since because I absolutely love that morph.
So you got a pied female?
I have a big pied female. She is 9 now.
So 9 years ago, what was the cost to get
$750.
$750?
That's it. Which, I
was not expecting that low of a number.
Yeah. I think Dave gave me a little bit of because we talked a good bit. He's a more chatty breeder. He likes to talk, and I think he just saw that I was very passionate about it and really wanted the girl, and she was exactly what I wanted. I wanted it so that her eye stripes connected into her neck stripe to go down. That was one of the things that I really loved about pieds, that I saw that could happen. So when I saw her, I was like, I had to have her. So he let me do a payment plan. I put $300 down on her, and then sent him $100 every month, and then he shipped her out, and she's been with me ever since. She's actually on my logo. That's the pied that's in the background.
Okay.
This is my girl.
Right there.
Right there.
All right. Nice. You know what? My logo is my first ball python that I got when I moved back to the States.
Perfect.
Or to the mainland.
Yeah.
Sorry. Yeah, it gives you that sentimental. first snake, dude, I had a thought that was running through my head, and I freaking dropped it. Son of a biscuit. Oh, the fact that you're so specific on what you wanted as far as like the detail of the look of what you're looking for. I think that's something that people definitely, like, when they're giving advice to people, like, they say that, like, it's like kind of a canned response, almost like, find what you like. But like, really, if you really do that, then like you did, and look for, like, this is exactly what I'm looking for, and you wait till you find that, and you're like, it's just whatever it is that makes you like, this is what I want and need. That's what I think builds that foundation to keep you in it. It's like you really got what you wanted to. Yeah,
and I think a lot of people sometimes lose that type of patience, especially as like you get more into, if you get into like breeding and stuff like that. It's more of an instant gratification. I'm thinking of what I want to make next season, and they just get what they get because they can have it ready, or get it to where they need it to be, instead of really looking for those fine, minute details that they might really enjoy the animal maybe a little bit more than just having it as a breeder.
Yeah, definitely. Well, I think that was the perfect time to start filming some of these snakes you brought over. They're definitely not pet rocks.
They are on the move today.
It's interesting. Ball python, they obviously have that capacity to roll up into a ball, be defensive, and just sit there, or be completely motionless. But there's this whole other side of the coin of that where they're definitely not that in many instances. This is a perfect example of that, and this is not uncommon for a ball python to be like out curious, periscoping, checking what's going on around them. They're very interested in curious animals.
Yes.
It's super cool. I'm glad that these guys are giving such a great example of like how actually very active these snakes can be. And this isn't just something that is only because they happen to be younger animals. Like, adults don't grow out of this type of behavior.
And I have some ball pythons that definitely I have to hook out. They're not the greatest, and their attitude definitely rivals retics and some blood pythons.
I know that they're scared and defensive when that's happening, but it's also extremely cute. Just to be like, oh, you're upset at me.
I know.
So cute. At least that's how I think about it. What is going on in this gorgeous pile? We obviously have a pied sitting there.
So yes, she is 50% het lavender. But like I said, I love making pieds. This one is a black pastel leopard special.
And you can just let them crawl towards camera. It's all good. I'll make sure they don't fall off the table.
Okay.
So black pastel.
She's a black pastel blackhead leopard.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure.
So going dark.
You know what? I'm not sure if she has a leopard. I know that she has the special gene in her.
Okay. Oh,
so
special, really?
So she may have leopard in her.
Wow. Special seems to be one of those blue-eyed leucistic complex morphs that doesn't take over like a lesser does.
Right. And it's definitely getting into popularity. The special.
Dude, you were wrangling, right? You were herding cats.
You know what? I'm so used to this because I take them out sometimes for pictures real quick on my back porch to I want them in the best light. And I'll have like 7 babies going crazy, so I'm used to like wrangling. And then this guy.
So wait, hold on. Let me go back to that. It was black pastel, blackhead, possible leopard. Okay.
Right. And then this guy is the big project I'm working with. This is a stranger het pied, possible het clown.
Het pied, poss het clown.
Yes.
I'm excited about that.
So the stranger pied was just made this past year. A couple people made it. Jason Amos made it, and I think another guy. It's not super impressive in pied. I think it's going to be when we start hitting some combos that stranger will really shine in pied.
Dude, stranger clown pied is going to be off the. Has anybody done that?
Nobody's done that yet. I think Debbie over at SMS Morphs, she has quad hets, but they're not going to be ready for a couple of years. So you guys are just being wiggle worms today.
The wrangle is
I know.
real.
The wrangle is real. It's tough.
The triple head like that reminds me of had a boa litter with Travis.
Right,
Johnson, and they're just like.
I know.
It's freaking amazing, dude. What's that thing doing? Okay, let's check in. What is your? So you've been breeding. So you got your first snake in about 05, you said? 05, 06?
Yeah, that was not my first breeding pair.
No.
My first breeding pair was just about 7 years ago.
Okay.
So I've only been breeding for about 7 years.
So about half of the time.
Fairly new, yeah.
Okay.
Fairly new to it.
All right. What made you decide to go from? You see, for years you just kept as pets as an adult.
Right.
And then what made you decide that you wanted to breed the snakes?
The pied.
The pied.
I had to, even though I bought one, I wanted to make one of my own.
Okay.
So I actually bought, in the meantime, because I was being impatient, like most women. In the meantime, I was being impatient and bought a 66% possible het normal female, and I had my het male. So I was like, well, I'll breed them, and if I hit on the odds, then I hit on the odds. I did not hit on the odds. She did not prove out. I got a nice little ringer out of her, but I didn't get any pieds. So she stayed around for a couple years and used her
that ringer may have come from Dad.
Yeah, and used her for other projects to prove out, like, snakes like this, where you're like, I'm not sure what's in that. So, and then sold her, and then when my pied was ready, I started making pieds, and by that time I had bought a couple more and knew that those were projects I wanted to work, so that's how it starts.
Now, are you at a level where you're doing it to support the hobby that you love to do?
So I actually still work a normal 9 to 5. I don't know if I'll ever do it full time. I enjoy the snakes, and I feel like when you do it full time, it changes the way you feel about them.
I feel like that can definitely happen.
Yeah.
And I think that that's a legitimate feeling that I do believe, and I have seen that people can do it full time and still have that level of care
passion and stuff.
Passion.
Yeah.
It is definitely possible, but your point is very correct, where it has very strong potential to change how you feel about what you're doing.
Yeah, when you depend on them, it's, well, these guys now pay my mortgage and my car payment and, put food on my table. So I have to, and sometimes that causes you to sell stuff that you don't maybe want to sell, but if you need to get that money in, then...
I have done that. I've been fortunate that it's been more of a hobby. Like, I do not rely on the sale of snakes to feed the family or keep the roof over their heads, which is nice, and I take solace in the fact that that's not the case. But there are definitely, to your point, there have definitely been animals that I have sold so that I could, pay off a bunch of bills. Where if I had kept them, it'd get me further along in a project, and I'd be closer to where I was trying to get in the first place. But because there is that option there to, like, I really need to, go to the dentist and get a car.
You're like, do I let my teeth hurt, or do I sell this snake and maybe go get that looked at,
Yeah. That is definitely a factor that will come into play if you're not, if you use it at all towards the monetary aspect of what they can bring and help you. You're not just solely focused on, like, all money from the snakes go right back into the snakes and only the snakes, and not doing any kind of support of myself from it. Man, they just never had a moment where, like, all right, we're good. The lights, probably the activity going around, and they're just like.
This guy's been on the move all day, like, even in his display case over there, he's been on the move all day long, but I think he's the nicest out of the 3 that I have over there, so I wanted to show him off.
Ball pythons, not pet rocks.
No.
Well, Meg, I appreciate you taking time to come over and sit down with us for a moment.
It's always nice to see you.
Super always nice to see you. From the very first time I saw you.
We don't ever get to see each other often enough, since we live on opposite sides of the country, which is dumb,
Do you have anything? Where can people follow your, like? What is your plan going forward for Double M? How did Double M come? There's so many questions I still have for you. I know you need to get back to your booth, but, like.
No, you're fine. Actually, Double M was just, originally my best friend was going to do this with me, and her name's Melanie, and she ended up moving to Columbus. So I originally named my company Double M Reptiles because I thought it was going to be me and her. She's not super comfortable with snakes, but she was like, I would love to help you in, like, this adventure and stuff like that. So now I just tell people my middle name is actually Marie, so it's Megan Marie Reptiles.
Okay, so it still works for you.
So it still works.
All right.
Yep.
Cool.
You guys can follow me on Facebook. I'm under Double M Reptiles on there. I'm on Instagram as _M__reptiles. I'm on TikTok. I'm on,
We're getting crazy, huh?
All the sites. Just hit it all, you know? Get all those followers. Get people loving reptiles, because, you know, we're going to pass this on to the next generation, and I want them to feel the same way about reptiles that we all do. So I think that's important, too.
Yeah, very important. Probably the most important.
Yeah. Yep, because if nobody does this, then we lose all this, and that's sad to think about, you know?
Yeah, I'm not going to think about it too much.
No.
Shove that aside.
Because we're working on that. You're raising your kids with it, and I've raised my girl with it, and, you know, that's our responsibility, too.
It is. It is.
And I love changing people's minds. Like, my mom was super scared when I first started doing this. She would not touch anything, see anything. Now she comes out, she's still nervous, because she's like, I just don't know what they're thinking. You know, they S up, you know, and they back up, and it's in that strike mode, and she's like, I don't know if they're going to or not or whatever. But she specifically asks for snakes now. Well, she'll be like, get that one out. I really like that one.
Awesome.
So
Dude.
I'm wearing her down.
Yeah, that's important. You get people in your family. I mean, yeah, every single person is a win.
Anyone that, and like, that's the whole thing. I know that snakes are not for everybody, but if I can keep somebody from thinking, there's a snake outside, it's in my yard, I should probably kill it, then that's a win. If I can change that mentality, that's a win. I'm not asking you to like them or put them in your house or have them as pets, but
Just
if I can,
respect them.
it's just a respect. Yeah. I'm not fond of spiders. I don't squish them anymore. I try to catch them and send them on their way, because they're doing something for the environment too, you know?
100%.
So it's respecting nature.
Thanks again, Meg, and of course to everybody that always comes and takes time away from their tables to sit down with me at these shows. And then again tonight, as we always do every week, we'll have Meg on for a Q&A session, and there's a link down in the description if you want to join us for that. And I appreciate Meg and everybody else for joining us for those as well. It really makes what we do here, I think, special. You know, I like to think it's special. And we appreciate every single one of you guys that tunes in for this channel and pays attention to what's going on with all the people that we try to feature here every week on the channel, in the hobby, in the industry. Yeah, so thank you again for watching, and we'll see you next week back here on B TV. Y'all take care. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to back to... Oh my God, that's not how I start these things. I'm coming to visit.
I know. I'm excited about that. You'll definitely have to let me know, because Garrett's bad at telling me when you're...
I noticed.
I'll see, like, you'll be like, hey, I was in Pittsburgh. And I'm like, nice, Garrett, thanks.
To be fair, it was usually to come here. It's always been to come here from there, but yeah. This time, that's not the case. I'm just coming there and then flying back out of there. So,
okay.
Yeah. It's always a pleasure.
I know. It always is.
I'm going to let you wrangle your snakes back to your table so that you don't...
All right. Thanks, Brian.
Yeah, thank you, dude. Fantastic. Look at that.
I know. He's so cute.
Dude, I got to get one more shot. Dude, he's doing it too perfect now.
I know. He's sitting still. He's moving. He's on his way. You got to get... Oh, you lost it.
I got it.
All right. Okay. All right. Thanks, Brian.
Yeah, thank you.